Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There it is. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Mid-Atlantic Volley League's Chaos Cup week number 2. We've got a triple header for you tonight. I'm getting started late. I thought this first game started at 8:30. I was in the middle of brushing my teeth before I got reminded, hey, there's a game in a few minutes. And that game we're going to get started with tonight, it's going to be Odin, it's Nuffle versus Nerdrum's Nosecount, Clypheus versus War Horseman. It's a Norse mirror match tonight. Let's take a look at the standings. We won't have too much of a pregame for this first game because I'm getting started late. Electric Spam, Clypheus, SP Beaver, welcome to the stream. SP Beaver says, always good to start a stream with clean teeth. In Division A, currently in first place is Ajax's The Fishy Fiends. They're a Chaos Renegades team, 2-0 is their record. In second place, BB Nuts, Believe Broncos. They drew earlier today. They're a Nurgle team, 1-1-0 is their record. In third place, Galeshi's The Birds of a Feather, an Elven Union team, 1-1-0 is their record. In Division B, that's where we'll be for games 2 and 3 tonight. In first place, Spire's Philosopher's Song, a Lizardman team, 1-0 is their record. Cobblestorm's Goner Gets, a Goblin team, they're in second place. And tied for second place is S. Beaver's Wooden Men and Iron Trees, a Wood Elf team, also 1-0-0. Tonight, in Division C, it's going to be the first place team, Clypheus's Odin, it's Nuffle, a Norse team. They're facing off against the number 5 team, Nerdrum's Nosecount, War Horseman's Norse team. Both teams undefeated currently. Doug the Minotaur sharing that first place spot. And the Dinnerbell Darlings, that's a Dwarven team. And in third place, Con Kills Entanglements, an Imperial Nobility team. They are undefeated going into week 2 as well. Just a few seconds to go before this game gets underway. Odin, it's Nuffle, is going to end up with 45,000 gold in petty cash to spend. Not a whole lot they can do with that this evening, but they do have they have the 2 Wolf Wearers. These are the Strength 4 Frenzy players. They have 1 Berserker and a Valkyrie. They are also fielding 1 Beer Boar. I love the Beer Boar. They're going to be up against Nerdrum's Nosecount this evening. Nerdrum's Nosecount coming in with a 10-player roster, has to pick up a Journeyman, whereas the home team had to pick up 2. They have no Beer Boars on this roster. They have both Wolf Wearers. They have 2 Berserkers and a bunch of linemen. 2 rerolls for each team. This is a tricky team to play, right? You've got lots of Frenzy on the roster. Those Beer Boars can help get the free pickup on a player that's knocked down. It's a 5+ for everybody who's knocked, every friendly player within 3 spaces of the Beer Boar. On a 5+, they get to stand up for free. All the linemen drunkards, so they're not rushing. Rush fails on a 1 or a 2 instead of just the 1. Frenzy, Norse teams have lots of Frenzy. And I'm going to see if the coaches are ready to go first before I continue yammering on. Seems like they are in Discord and ready to go, so we'll wait for this game to get underway. Both teams very fragile, right? Fragile teams usually, or not usually, most of the players have MA 8+, and lots of Frenzy, right? So kind of glass cannons, really. They can get a lot of block dice, they can get the power that they're looking for, but they get removed very easily, so... it's going to be a tricky matchup. I think this Norse mirror match is really tricky. You've got to make good use of Frenzy, try to get players out of position, to try to control the sidelines, maybe even control center pitch with these Frenzy players. You're not just getting more dice with Frenzy, you're also forced to follow up. So it's a way to push players out of position. It's also a way to control the pitch a little bit. But you've got to do this while still keeping your players safe, and that means you want to keep them grouped up. You want to give them their assists. That can be very tricky to do. When you don't have, or when you have lots of Frenzy, right? Frenzy means that you might be moving 2 spaces away, so you really need to set up your formation so that when you Frenzy, A, you're not falling into a Frenzy trap where now you have a 1 die or maybe even uphill block, and 2, wherever you end up, that is going to help solidify your formation, or at least not break it. Segnor's Loop on, or not Segnor's, War Horseman on Discord says, doing a restart to try to resolve some lag. Fair enough. We'll take a look at the teams while we wait for them. While we wait for the 2 coaches to get this game started. 2 other games this evening. Well, let's take a look at the schedule first. Two other games this evening. The second game will be right after this game, scheduled for 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's UTC -5. That's going to be Wooden Men and Iron Trees versus Philosopher's Song. SB versus Spire. That's going to be Wood Elves versus Lizards. Is that right? I think it's Lizards. And then we're going to round out the evening at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Pipstars versus the Disco Mancers. Dead Fred versus Ian. Lizards versus Necro. That'll be a fun one as well. Clyphus is doing a quick restart. I see. Yeah, so you can see 8+ almost across the board here. The Ulfwereners are the ones with the average AV. They have a strength of 4, which is great, but they have no other skills other than Frenzy. That can be very scary, right? Even though you're getting the 4-die block, you don't have the block skills. So if that first block or even the second block doesn't go in your way, that could be troubling. Odin and Snuffle has the 3 rerolls where War Horseman's team only has 2 rerolls. That's going to be a big factor in tonight's game. Lots of block on the linemen, right? The linemen all have the block skill as rookies. They're also all drunkards. Clypheus picked up Fend on Slavtown of Rarik. That means that when a block's taken against this player can elect to not allow the opposing player to follow up. It's a control skill. Also, these Valkyries. I think these Valkyries are wonderful, right? You have MA7. Average stat line other than the weak armor, but they have catch, they have dauntless, they have pass, and they have strip ball, right? So these Valkyries are insane, right? These are decently fast pieces that get the free reroll on the catch. They double as a passer as well. Only one on this roster for Odin and Snuffle though, and they have dauntless. Dauntless can be great against these Ulfwereners, right? You take your strength, you add it to a D6. If you exceed your opponent's strength, so let's just say this is a straight up Valkyrie versus Ulfwerener block, that's 3 to 4. You roll a d6, you just need a 2+, you get the 2+, now your strength is considered a 4. 1 assist gets you the 2-die block against the Ulfwerener. So the Valkyrie can be very, very effective against these higher strength pieces on this roster. If we look at Nerdstrom's Nosecount, they have 2 Ulfwereners as well, but they have the big guy, the Yeti, with a strength of 5. This Yeti, I think, is going to be a big. Well, they're not starting with the Yeti. Oh, that would have been a big boon in this roster, I think, or in this matchup. I think doesn't have it. Does have the 2 Berserkers here. 4 players with Frenzy starting on this roster for Nerdstrom's Nosecount, but they have just the 2 rerolls, so they have to be a little careful here. No Valkyries on the roster. It's just pure bash for this. For this team, just lots of block, lots of friendly, looking to roll dice and looking to make sure they count. With just the 2 rerolls, we'll see if that'll work out for the Nerdstrom's Nosecount. They do have the big guy who will not be starting this week, but watch out for that big guy next week. That Yeti is a key component to the Nerdstrom's Nosecount roster, I think. That claw skill is just absolutely unbelievable, right? You treat everybody's AV as if it's a Wood Elf armor value, and it could be a piece that can really get you a strong player advantage. Not going to happen tonight, unfortunately. SP Beaver says, it's only week 2, and I feel a lot of the teams are already pretty banged up. It has been a brutal week, first 2 weeks of the season. That is true. Only Marino says, Constantinople will always be Istanbul to me. All right, still waiting for this game to get underway. 45K in petty cash going to Odin and Snuffle. Probably looking at I would say coaches. I think a couple of coaches, assistant coaches, to help get the reroll maybe. Electrics Man says I didn't get hurt in week 1. Did you have a bye in week 1? I don't think I got hurt either. Let's see. Actually, I think I got hurt a lot. Let's find out. There I am. I was like, where am I? Oh, I did get hurt. I lost dependency injection. Oh, poor guy. He's going to be fired. He's going to be fired. He's off the team. Sorry, buddy. We didn't pick up the block skill on PPKDF. Sector's Loop, let me know when you guys are ready to start, and we'll get ready. I'm gonna look at my roster. So these, if you're unfamiliar, I'm a big dumb nerd. I'm a software engineer. So let's go down the list, shall we? SB Beaver says, I just noticed the player names on your team. You are a nerd. Thank you, Signal Sleep. So, oh, hey. So a singleton, is a, boy, where do you even start with this? So this is concept, and you know what? I'm not even gonna explain it. Go look it up. I just realized I'm gonna have to teach like Comp Sci 101 just to explain like 3/4 of my team. Forget it. No, factory method. Oh, somebody just wrote a factory today. Yeah, no factory method. Still waiting for this game to get underway. I didn't see Squircle on your roster. Yeah, no Squircle. I'm not a front end guy. El Numerino saying, I wonder if little Bobby Tables would break Cyanide System. I'm not gonna test it. SP Beaver says Clypheus is having internet issues. Oh no. Oh no. Well, the game hasn't started yet, so if it doesn't work out, we'll allow for a reschedule. So the format of the league is we have 3 open competitions and 1 invitational at the end. The winners of each open, as well as the runners-up, are automatically invited into the invitational at the end of the season. That's the championship competition. But there may be more that qualify. It depends on how many players, how many individual coaches qualify for the Blood Bowl. In other words, a coach could qualify twice. Maybe they were the winner of one competition and the runner-up of another. That doesn't mean they get 2 spots. They only get 1 spot. So basically, we fill the bracket. Last competition, we had 11 teams qualify for the Blood Bowl. After regulation play, the competition format is dependent on the number of entrants. This Chaos Cup this season is a divisional competition. We'll take a look at that real quick. Is a divisional competition. There are three divisions in this competition with 9 teams in each. Each team will play every other team 1 time. So 9 weeks with 8 games to play. One's a bye week. The top 2 teams from each division will make the cut to top 8, as well as the top 2 teams besides. So the 2 best 3rd place teams between all 3 divisions will make the cut to top 8. They will be seeded based on competition ranking. So if you take all 3 divisions and you cram them together as if they were all in one big division, who are the top 8 teams? They will seed themselves accordingly. And then they duke it out in a single elimination bracket. Not so trusty patches, welcome to the stream. Still waiting for this game to get underway. It seems like Clypheus might be having some difficulty. SP Beaver says 420 kilobytes per second is the best he's getting. I think the wind has been rough on the East Coast. Yeah, yeah. So there was a huge windstorm that I pitched a little bit of a fit about this weekend, and it basically knocked out a number of my devices that I had to manually fix. So I had one network device that I had to like SSH into to fix. I had an Amazon Echo that I had to do a huge Norse wind, a frenzious wind and an Amazon Echo that refused to get the correct time, so I had to factory reset that. And then my media player in the living room would refuse to accept inputs after about 30 seconds after a restart. So I had to factory reset that as well, which meant, oh, it was so much work to get it back to where it was, and I'm still not done. It's such a pain. So we'll see if this game actually ends up getting played or not. If not, we have another game at 9:30 this evening. That's about an hour, 15 minutes from now. SP Reader says, oh, I think I forgot the biggest news. I've discovered orange cream Coke. It's as good as you would think. Would that be not at all? Because that sounds terrible. Yeah, it sounds awful. It looks like we got time for the Comp Sci 101 Hello World lecture. All right, let's try it. Let's try it. Oh, sounds not good. I'd like to think you're talking about my talk. All right, a singleton. There's a type. So programming languages are just like spoken languages. They all kind of do different things. And certain programming languages are called object-oriented, meaning they're sort of centered around this concept of an encapsulated object. In other words, if I have a car, I can write code so that that car encapsulates everything that a car is and everything that a car does, and then I don't have to write. If I need 5 cars, I don't need to write out 5 different cars. I write 1 car, and then I can create an object from each of those cars. A singleton is a type of object that forces me to only ever have 1. If I wanted to make 2, I'd get back the original 1. And if I have 0, it'll make 1. There's certain situations where you might want to make sure you only have 1 of something. That's what a singleton is. HDR10, that's just a format of high dynamic range monitors and televisions. So that gives you greater brightness and greater color gamut. So you can get, so if you think of your color range as like a number from 0 to 255, maybe black is normally at 20. HDR can set black to 0, so you get blacker blacks, whiter whites. You get a wider range of colors, and the brightness can be brighter as well. Pre-image resistance. Oh boy, how do you explain this? Pre-image resistance is a math concept of a function where so there's something called a hash function. I'm going to see if this game's ready. It's not ready yet. What have I gotten myself into? So if you have a function, just like a math function, if you think back to like high school math, f of x, right? F is a function, x is your input. You'll often see the teacher write y equals f of x, y is your output. So if I have a function, let's call it a one-way function. In other words, I take in a number and it spits out a different number, and there's no way to figure out what my input number was from the output. That's a one-way function, right? A simple example of this is if I take an input number, divide it by 2, and spit out the remainder, I have, thank you, Signer's Loop. I don't know what my original input number was, right? That would be a one-way function. Typically, we would often call that a hash. There's some other properties to hashes that I won't get into. But pre-image resistance is the property of a hash function, where if I take my hash and I take the original input, I can't come up with another input with the same hash. Backface culling. Stored procedure. Stored procedure, also known as a sprock. This is a piece of code that you store on a database in a database management system, so you can run code on the database itself. For example, for the league, I have a bunch of stored procedures to see, I can look up, for example, if 2 coaches have played each other, I can get back a list of all of their games and the results, and I have that in a stored procedure. It's just a piece of code that you can run on the database. You don't have to tell me, Trice. I see Clypheus is back on. I'm waiting for Signer's Loop to get me off the stage here. Backface culling is the concept. Think of a 3D game if I have a 3D character and maybe it's facing the camera, it's facing you, and you can see its front, well, I don't need to draw the back because, oh, good, thank goodness. I don't need to draw the back because you don't see it. So if you don't see it, why spend time with the processor drawing all the stuff you can't see? So I can call that stuff away and make the drawing more efficient. All right, that's half my team. All right, waiting for this game mercifully to get underway. No, that's okay, SB Beaver. That's quite all right. Thank you very much. Reticulating splines. What is that? That wasn't was that Sim City? I think it's Sim City. Thank you for the bits, by the way. All right, about to get this game underway shortly. Yeah, Sim City. No worries, Clanfius, no worries. I guess you had time for another player. Did I? I don't even know where I left off. Oh, backface calling. That's the last one I did. Hey, the game's underway, thank goodness. 2 journeymen's gonna be picked up for Odin. It's Nuffle. Nerdrum's Nosecount has to pick up 1. That's 45K that will come back to Odin. It's Nuffle. Clear skies for this first game of our triple header this evening. You lost me at Bob. We're gonna have, boy, we are absolutely gonna have to do red and blue for this game. They're wearing the same uniforms. Hank the Ranger, welcome to the stream. Hank the Ranger says, I don't think I have lost any viewers during his TED Talk. Here's the coin toss. So nothing in the inducement phase? Did we miss it? Nothing in the inducement phase. Odin at Snuffle chooses to receive. So Nerdrum's Nosecount will set up their defense. Three on the line currently for the defense. 3 linemen, number 10, or 9, 10, and 11. Two Wolfwearners as the inner linebackers right off that defensive line. No Valkyries on this team. Both Berserkers in either wide zone covered by a lineman. And now the offense to sit up. The Beer Boars, they have this trait called Pick Me Up. Anybody within a distance of 3 at the beginning of the turn. Let's see if I can get back on screen. You roll a d6 for any one of your players that are prone. On a 5+, they will stand up for free. You can have, I think you can have 2 Beer Boars on your roster. You can see that's the 6x6 grid, 3 in any direction. 5 on the line for the offense. They're going to block down the defensive line. Number 5, Berserker in the right wide zone. The Valkyrie back to receive. Francia wearing number 4 on the 16-yard line currently. Oh, right. Let's do this. There we go. I knew I was forgetting something. Who's on which team? All right, here's the kick. Nerdrum's Nosecount will be wearing red for this game, although their colors are blue. Here's the kick. Brilliant coaching. You know what? Taking my advice, you'd get a reroll by now. But no, it's gonna be. It looks like Nerdrum's Nosecount. Yeah, they got it with the 2. Well, they didn't even need the assistant coach. Got it with the 2v1. They're up to 3 rerolls now for the half. First block of the game will be a knockdown. Second block is a knockdown as well. Nose tackle remaining for defense. And this will be a knockdown. Looking for the 8+. Wow, almost a mirror in formation for both these teams. The beer bore in the halfback position, trying to give him as much opportunity to stand a player up as possible. What do you even do with that many rerolls? Yeah, Wood Elf rerolls are very expensive. 70K, which means they're 140K after the season starts. 100K? Oh, I thought they were 7. I thought they were 7. Well, 100K is in 50K when you're building the team. I thought they were 70. I guess I'm mistaken. Two-die blitz in the right wide zone. Gets a frenzy follow-up out of this into a 1-die. Got the POW. Breaks armor. Gets a KO. That'll be the first removal of the evening. One-man player advantage for Odin. It's Nuffle. Master Trusty Patches says, welcome to the stream. If I haven't welcomed you already. Says, I really like the new Norse roster. It's way more interesting than the old one. I agree. I think most teams have been updated for the better. If not all of them. The dwarf team, I don't know about that death roller. Ball's going to move forward to the 4-yard line. And now Odin at Nuffle will cage up here. Ball in the hands of the number 4 Valkyrie. Not so trusty Patches says lucky pal. Yeah, so again we talked about those frenzy traps briefly, but you have to be careful. On your first block on frenzy, you've got to follow up and block again. And if you're not careful, you can put yourself into a disadvantageous position where that second block is really going to bone you. I have a NAS with a network attached storage. It's basically a hard drive connected to my network that I have a bunch of media on. And as part of the windstorm, it blew up my media player. I have backups of, so I use a piece of software called Kodi to sort of watch that media throughout the house on different devices. And so there's a database that kind of stores where the media is and the thumbnails and the info and all that stuff. And I back that database up every month, but I was like, you know what? I'm just going to rebuild it. Because this has been probably 10 years of data. I should just rebuild it. And so I'm just going to rebuild it. But now I'm out my NAS until I do so. The windstorm really annoyed me. Did I frenzy blitz? Gets a push out of this. 2-die follow-up. Got the pal, looking for a 9+. Great blitz by War Horseman here. He needs to reposition. He needs to be careful that they're not going to leave a gap in the pitch. Again, had to follow up due to frenzy. So now a potential gap, right? If you block down a player, there's now a gap in the pitch for the offense. The hard drive's connected to the leg drive. The leg drive's connected to the I drive. The I drive's connected to the thumb drive. Seconds into the turn, Odin and Snuffle on offense, trying to figure out where they want to go with this formation. You have to be really careful with this formation. Again, your linemen have the block skill. They're really your strong blockers, right? But you do have the Ulf runners with the strength of 4. But everyone else has frenzy, right? So save for your Valkyrie, and so you really have to be careful with who you're blocking with. And not get your formation out of whack on a bad frenzy block. Good armor break. Gets a stun on Grolkus, the tenderness of Cathay. Number 10 lineman. Ball advances across the line of scrimmage to the opposing 2-yard line. And resetting the cage here. Front of the cage marked by number 11. Haithlui the Warped. Good dodge by Aquitaine, the number 5 Norse Berserker. Going to move it on the right side of the cage. Turn 2 for the nose count. I see Nerdrums. I don't know what that's a reference to, but I keep wanting to say Red Rum. Not so trusty Patches says, I think the Boars are secretly best at fouling. They're so cheap. So I was trying to make this argument to my game group a couple of weeks ago. So obviously the pick-me-up is fun and cool and all that stuff. But they're basically snotlings. You get a 2+ dodge wherever you want to go. You're getting the assist, or you're getting the foul, or you're just getting someone to where you want them to mark somebody. I think they're great. I mean, that's not to say that snotlings are great, but I think they're great on a Norse roster. Red Rum. There was a reference to that in other than the obvious reference, there was a reference to that in an RPG called Xenogears. I thought that was so weird. I think it was actually a boss. Frenzy this is the frenzy trap. Frenzy follow-up in the 2-die uphill is going to be a push. Drive stays alive. So took the frenzy blitz, got the push, and had to follow up and take another block, and that was an uphill block. Got a push out of it, kept the drive alive. Heard it here first, even think snotlings are great. I want to know when we're going to get snotlings in Blood Bowl 3. Like the snotling team. 1-die block on Iona. Gets a push here. So it pushes aside the front of the cage. Turn 3 back to Odin. It's Nuffle. They have the ball in the opposing 2-yard line. SP Beaver says, I hope to get Amazon's first. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I would love to see Vamps too. I mean, you know, I want all the teams, of course. Yeah, gnomes would be awesome. I have not experienced gnomes in any capacity, so I would love to see gnomes. 2-die blitz in the left wide zone, gets a knockdown here on Quetzalcoatl, otherwise known as collateral damage. Knockdown, no armor break. One-man player advantage currently for Odin. It's Nuffle. And now moves the ball over in the left wide zone. Advances this ball to the 8-yard line, well within the left wide zone. 16 seconds left on the clock for Odin. It's Nuffle. The beer bore that was a very weird animation. Tramples down pitch, covers the right side of the ball carrier. Now trying to set up a screen. Saint Philibert, the number 11 lineman, sets up the front of the screen. Shifting this offense to the left. Oh, when I was playing with Norse, man, that boar went everywhere. I had that boar weaving in between people. I had the boar fouling. I had the boar getting my assist. It was great. Pick me up never triggered though. Turn 3 for Nerdrum's Nosecount. Finding themselves on the right side of the offensive formation. Fife is traditionally a control coach. Likes to really position players in such a way that he can start to carve out a section of the pitch for himself. Nosecount sending some players into the secondary to try to defend against the Valkyrie, who could score next turn if they wish. Two-die block on the right side of the pitch here. Gets a push, frenzy follow-up into a POW. Really looking for an armor break here. 8+ is not a lot. Haven't seen a whole lot of armor breaks yet. And we still won't. Knocks down the journeyman. You know what, if you're a journeyman, I don't think you want to be a drunkard. I don't think you can afford to be a drunkard. Stand-up blitz, 50-50 on the dodge. Spends a team reroll, 1-die blitz. Spends a reroll again. The Nosecount down to 1 reroll. Spend 2 rerolls here trying to get the knockdown on the ball carrier. Only gets a push out of it. And now the ball carrier will be pushed 1 space further down pitch. So we're down to 1 rush instead of 2. Turn 4 for Odin. It's Nuffle. I don't even know what din means. Double skulls! Ah! Oh, spends a reroll. Gets a push. Looking for the surf here. Frenzy follow-up. Got it. Well done by Odin and Nuffle. Din is a loud, unpleasant, prolonged noise. Gets the surf, clears the ball carrier. One rush to score. I think they'll probably try to cage this up for at least a turn. But we'll see. We'll see how Clypheus is feeling. Earlier today, there was a game between BB Nut and JD Whitey. It was really fun to watch. And I hope JD Whitey doesn't mind me saying this, but I think JD Whitey might agree. JD Whitey got kind of greedy in the second half. Got the kickoff event to give 2 SPP for passes, and I think justifiably said, you know what, I'm gonna pass this ball around. I'm gonna DACA away. I'm gonna retreat. I'm gonna pass the ball around for a few turns, get some SPP. But boy, they did not work out. Dropped the ball left and right. And BB Nut capitalized. Ended up in a draw, 1-1 draw. But the point of that story is I get super nervous about stuff like that. So it looks like the ball's going to advance 2 to 4 spaces, just the 2. Advances to the 14-yard line, caged up. With the Beerber on the front right corner of the cage, with St. Philibert to the right of that. Spends a reroll on the frenzy block. Gets the knockdown on the follow-up. One die block on the number 11 lineman. Gets a push here. And now a one die block back at center pitch. Gets a push. Very delicate dance in this matchup, I think. You can see. Let's check out the offensive players, right? You can see what Clypheus is doing here, right? If we draw an imaginary line between tackle to exerted tackle zones, right? Like we talked about, he's trying to control the pitch, right? So he's got this solid front that he's created. Red X's mean they won't live. Nosecount looks to be setting up some columns in front of this cage. I don't know if they're going to have enough players to effectuate these columns. We'll see. Oh, very shallow columns, though. So when you set up the columns, you can get away with spacing them this way. And in that way, you have full coverage of all this space. But maybe trying to take a blitz on number 3 here on Theobald. love the cloud effects, like the shadows. Little details are cool. Problem with setting up the columns. Let's say the columns were set up this way. You still have a MA7 Valkyrie, right? So this is cut off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you'd want a third column there, but the players are really tied up currently. Double skulls on the blitz. Probably leaves us alone. No, he's going to spend the reroll. Spends the reroll. Gets a push out of this. 2-die follow-up. Gets a POW here, looking for a 9+. Nobody down for Odin. Oh, KO'd on the rush. Hank the Ranger says Ava drawing on the screen is essentially a sequel to Death Note. I'm sorry, War Horseman. I'm sorry. I wrote you into my death screen. Second quarter begins. Odin and Nuffle control this ball and a lot of the pitch here. They have a two-man player advantage, I believe. Three-man player advantage, even? Oh, yeah, the Surf. Three-man player advantage. Please only write on the screen during Spire's drive in the second game. No promises. I'm sorry, S. Beaver. I'm sorry. If I kill his tree, does that change the team name to just Wooden Men? 2-9 block gets a pal here against number 3. I turned HDR off to see if it would make any difference in the video, and it doesn't look like it does, so I'm just going to leave it back on. Certainly makes a difference in the thumbnail generation, but I don't care enough. Oh, and it's Nuffle shifting this ball back to center pitch on the opposing 20-yard line. And again, you can see exactly what he's doing here, right? Setting up all this space, controlling all this pitch. Turn 5 for Nosecount now. They have no rerolls left for the half. If they can find a way to force the score, they might be able to get on the board here before the second half. Did I block on Lindisfarne? Gets a knockdown, but no armor break again. Minute to go here in turn 5. Nosecount looking for a way to try to force the score, or even stop the score if they have a way to do it that's not super duper risky. Did I block him? Theobald over in the left wide zone gets a knockdown out of this. Can we see an armor break? We can. And there's a KO. Well done by the nerd count. By the nerd count? By the Nosecount. 2-man player minutes now for Odin and Nuffle. The nerd count sounds like a terrible YouTube channel. Hey guys, welcome to the nerd count. Today we'll be listing off our top 100 MCU movies. One dive blitz on the ball carrier. So 2 rushes here. Used jump up, but got a skull out of it. Good opportunity, or a good eye to see an opportunity to go after the ball, but got a skull. Had no rerolls left. Turn 6 now for Odin and Nuffle. Whenever people talk about classic movies and the accolades, they, ah! Oh no, number 3 died. Oppo's gonna be spent here. Oppo works out. A murder almost took place. Well, did take place for a few seconds. But the apothecary saved him. Back to a 3-man player advantage. I always wonder, with Gone with the Wind and Ghostbusters, why don't people talk about Black Widow? Did I block? Gets a pal against Tom Zarek, everybody's favorite, not Cylon. I mean, I could probably pull that podcast off in earnest, truth be told. Hey guys, check out my new Optimus Prime. "26 seconds to go." No. Don't worry. Don't worry. Did I block? Gets number 11. Gets the knockdown here. Breaks armor. Gets a stun out of it. Very good stun here. It's another player he doesn't have to worry about. It means that much more likely to stall this out till turn 8. And the Eagle of Justice cries in the background. I guess that's really a falcon, isn't it? Beerbor shifts over to the left. On the assist, here's the blitz. 2-die blitz. Gets the knockdown against Chariot of Discontent. Looking for an 8+ here. Another armor break. And another stun. Really hoping for some more, or Clive is surely hoping for some more removals there. But we'll take what he can get. That's totally fine. Not a whole lot of Nosecount players left to really contend with. Your hey guys is too convincing. Have you been practicing? Just gonna go ahead and score. Had nobody left to really cover the ball carrier. That's fine. Odin and Snuffle's gonna go up on the scoreboard 1-0. Hey! And this is going to give Nerdrum's Nosecount an opportunity to get on the board here. They're going to be on offense to start the second half of this game. They're going to have 3 turns to try to get on the board. We'll see if they can make it happen. Electric Man says, this is starting to... I wasn't convinced at first, but now I think the Norse team has it in the bag. Spire. That's how. that's how he starts the weekly Tuesday meeting. I would lose any authority and social capital, any modicum of that I had, I would lose. Setting up with an arrow on defense here. 3 on the line. See the Ulf winners in either wide zone with a lineman protecting them in these chevrons. The Beer Boar back in the safety position. Valkyrie and Berserker, outer linebackers. Nosecount to set up their offensive formation. Didn't get back 2 of the KOs. So it's going to be 9 on the pitch. 4 and 1 is 9. Let's talk about Squirkles. Hey guys, let's talk about Squirkles. Five on the line for the Nosecount. So they're going to block on the line. They have no rerolls left. This is a little scary if they're trying to score. If they can score, they'll be in pretty good shape here. try to win this game. Let's see what happens. Looks like they're going to block down the line, putting one player in the right wide zone. Still need somebody back to receive. Let's see who it is. It's going to be Chariot of Discontent, the number 9 lineman. So the Squircles, that was a designer thing. And to be perfectly fair to the designer, they looked pretty good. There's the kick. Gets a 3 on the D3, can reset any unmarked player on the defense into a different place here on their side of the line of scrimmage. SB Beaver says, can we take a minute to appreciate the dedication of these players? I mean, 1 minute you are dead, the next you're back out there playing. That is professionalism. Boopal says, I'm not front end. I will write, not to get into the weeds, I will write front end code. I will not design a front end for you. So I could build out your, I don't, there's a pattern, a design pattern called MVVM. I will design your VM. I will design your, or not design, I will build your view model. I'm not going to build your graphics. Or rather, you don't want me to be the one to do that. Ball kicked to the 14-yard line in the right wide zone. It's going to bounce to the 16. Turn 6 for Nerdrum's nose count. So the defense heavy on the right side now. We'll see if Nosecount can get this ball to safety. If they could swing around just a couple of pieces, maybe get this ball going in this direction, they might stand a chance. Otherwise, they've got a lot of opponents to fight through. Yeah, if you give me all the assets and you tell me what you want something to do, I'll make that happen. Don't you worry. But if you want me to make something look nice, I'll even have a sense of the user experience, but I can't do the actual graphic design stuff. I can't make things look good. It's just not what I do. Did I block on the line? Gets a knockdown here. This is on the left side of this line. So moved a bunch of players around this ball, but without double skulls. Yeah, without picking this ball up, it means a scrum's going to form around this ball. And in that case, I'm not sure they're going to be able to score in just 2 turns. Turn 7 now for Odin and Nuffle. Tough call regardless, since they had no rerolls. Two-die block against the Ballista, the number 3 All 400 gets a knockdown here. Armor break. Oh, got an injury. Boy, oh boy. Odin and Nuffle just keeps the pain coming. 3-man player advantage now for the blue team. Electric Man says, are the linemen drunk enough to throw an Ulf? That should be a game mechanic. You're all a 6, you're drunk enough to do crazy stuff. 2-die block against the Warp. Gets a POW here too, looking for an 8+. Another armor break. No removal this time. Two-die blitz by the Berserker. Gets a POW here. We'll have to follow up. So Odin and Nuffle deciding not to really go after this ball. Now without the ball pickup, they feel no threat of the score. So they're going to go for some SPP and player advantage here. Here's the foul with the beer bore. Got a KO and didn't get caught off. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Beer bores are awesome, man. Turn 7 for Nosecount. All right, giving up on the ball, it looks like failed the rush. War Horseman, you've been playing this game long enough. You know rushes fail 900% of the time. No less. unless someone in chat is gracious. Not so trusty patch says Beer Bore MVP. Beer Bore is awesome. You get a titchy dodge player, and you can stage your guys up. Probably spends the final reroll here. No reason not to. It's the final turn. Yep. Spends a reroll, gets the POW. This is exactly what I'm talking about. That beer bore. I mean, Clyfus has done almost everything with this beer bore that I think makes it so valuable. Foul with the beer bore. That beer bore can get to wherever they want it. You to place them so you can get the assist. And of course they have pick me up as well. Electric Smith says, "What did the beer bore do?" I didn't see anything. Nothing's going over. Nothing's going on. Ref, relax. Everything's just by the book. Oh, 4 assists. Is he fouling? Is he fouling? Be a true hero and foul with the Valkyrie. Be a true hero and foul with the Valkyrie. 5 assists on this foul. 4+ breaks armor. Got called off the pitch. Got nothing out of the foul. Will argue the call. Succeeds! And the ref said, you know what? You're right. You're right. That was all above board. You know what? My mistake. My mistake. Argued the call with the ref. Successfully. So Motmot stays on the pitch. Final turn of the first quarter here. Upon further review, that was a completely legal cleat to the face. 3-die blitz, gets a POW against the beer bore. You can't knock a beer. Gonna get the push on the beer bore. What? Oh, he's got dodge, that's why. I was like, what's going on? Gonna try to pass for some SPP. Fails the pass. That'll be the half. 1-0. Odin and Snuffle in the lead. Nerdrum's Nosecount will have another opportunity to be on offense here. Just a second. 4 KOs they're looking to recover here before the half. Or 3 KOs. Got back 2 of them. Odin and Snuffle to set up on defense. They have just 4 minutes, 6 seconds left on the bonus clock. Both teams back up to a full complement of rerolls. 3 for the blue team, 2 for the red team. Almost an anchor here for Odin and Snuffle. Francia, the number 4 Valkyrie, on the touchdown in the first half of the game. Unofficious ref. Who does he hate? Who does he hate? Oh! Boy, he sure hates. He sure hates. Gilroy sent off the pitch. Boy, the officious ref sends Gilroy off the pitch. So Nerdrum's Nosecount -3 on the pitch right now. Blue says red versus blue classic series. And I mean, they created Machinima, did they not? Truly a classic. One minute to go here in the first turn of the second half. Ball kicked to the 20-yard line. Chariot of Discontent back to receive. Eight v 11. Keep misreading his nose pass. How do you how do you misread it as nose pass? Nerdrum's nose pass. Blitz on the nose tackle. Double skulls. Oh, we might just let this rock. We'll see what he decides to do here. He's going to use the team reroll. Gets a push out of it. Down to 1 reroll for the game. Almost certainly won't be able to follow up to defend. Yep. Defend is used. Wait, is Nose Pass a Pokemon that I'm unaware of? Good ball pickup. Advances the ball forward to the 12. Oh boy, a little bit of a scary defense here. So against a more agile team, maybe even against this team, you can see this would start the dodge, but then it's... Oh, I thought it was positive. It's not positive. I was like, oh, positive dodge out. Oh, it's the rock guy. Frenzy follow up into a pal here against number 3. Ulf Werner on Ulf Werner. Breaks armor. Gets a KO. The removals keep piling up here for Odin and Snuffle. 4-man player advantage now. Yeah, so this is really what I was getting at with this this sort of shaky protection here. It wasn't so much that this would be a positive dodge, which it's not. But spreading these players out means that there's one blitz opens up the hole. And you can see that's what the defense did right here. I hope you put armor in quotes when you said broke armor. Coming up right after this game, we're going to have Wooden Men and Iron Trees versus Philosopher's Song. That'll be S-Beaver versus Spire. Wood Elves versus Lizards, I think. Yes, indeed, Lizards. Lizards! Lizards! Turn 10 back to the nose count. So applying some pressure with the defense here. Clypeus applying the pressure. War Horseman now. A lot of pressure by the defense. Needs to figure out a way to secure this ball and start moving it forward. So I think this is the risk. This is the risk with not spreading out your team enough. Unless you want to be grouped up, like maybe your dwarves or something. But by doing this, you can see the defense is able to start to encircle the offense. And now the offense, with no protection on the ball, really doesn't have a whole lot. I was going to try to draw the Master Sword. It doesn't really have many places to go. Then I realized it's very much not the Master Sword. So now they're going to have to sort of fight their way out of this this early pressure. Because it's not just about pushing back the defense, it's about securing the ball, making sure you have either a protective screen or a cage on that ball. Failed 3+ dodge, very risky. Having to roll these dice make everything risky. Final rerolls spent. No rerolls left for the nose count. And you said you're not a designer. T&I block against Rathun gets a push here. The number 10 lineman getting pushed to the left. Just outside the left wide zone on the Odin Snuffle's own 2-yard line. Moving the ball forward, so has, has 3 players, particularly the ball carrier currently, but a lot of marks on this cage. It's by no means safe. Three+ dodge on the line. Has to roll lots of dice here due to that pressure. And now turn 10 to Odin and Snuffle. So Odin and Snuffle has an opportunity to get the ball here. We'll see if and how he decides to take it. What would the Master Sword look like? It would be like, oh boy, this is already terrible. It's already terrible. It's already terrible. And then like, it kind of goes like this, right? Like something like this. See, I was drawing. That's why that happened. And then like there's this, and then there's like a little thing or whatever here, and then somewhere on here, I think it's here. I don't remember. You have a depiction of the Triforce. Perfect. Everybody knows what that is. Two marks on the ball carrier now. Blitz still on the table. Here it comes. Aquitaine could be on the blitz. Just has to be careful of the frenzy trap. Too phallic. That was the Master Sword. How is that? It has a hilt. 2-9 blitz, gets a push out of this, might re-roll it. No, he's going to go for the push. Oh, he has strip ball. He has strip ball. Doesn't need to re-roll it. Well done. Yeah, these Valkyries are amazing. 2-9 block. Gets the push. Strip ball's going to knock it out of the hands of the ball carrier. Reroll the double skulls into a both standing result. Back on the bonus clock for Odin and Snuffle. The master, quote-unquote, sword. Another armor break for Odin and Snuffle. Gets a stun here. So Odin and Snuffle knocking the ball out of the hands of the ball carrier and now trying to form a scrum around this ball. They're going to try to recover on turn 11. Turn 11 now for the nose count. Kind of fell victim to that the defense encircling the offense early in the half, and now are just fighting for their lives trying to recover this ball. Well, really, is fell a bit victim to Nuffle as well. Nuffle, despite all the removals, Nuffle said, "That's not enough. Gilroy, get out of here. Get out of here, Gilroy." Gilroy. That reminds me, it's Mr. Roboto. I'm Kilroy. 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 Failed. Failed the dodge. Yeah, it's just a tough spot to be. Turn 11. I just love when they flip over themselves. They just fall. Turn 11 for Odin and Snuffle. So the defense is going to have an opportunity here to get at the ball. Well, to recover the ball, I should say. They're in pretty good shape here. They're going to block down, going to block down number 9 here. Got the pal. Another armor break into another stun. Now they get a block on number 6. Get the push out of this. That frees up number 2, frees up number 3. And of course, the Valkyrie here, number 4. Probably going to attempt to pick this ball up, try to get 3 more SPP and level up the Valkyrie. Thank you very much, Mr. Roboto, for doing the jobs that nobody wants to. Did I block on number 5? Let's push here. Another armor break. This is why this matchup would tend to be a dance, right? Because you're a bashy team, right? These two Norse teams are a bashy team, but you're also very brittle. So while you want to be taking your blocks, you do not want to be giving up blocks to your opponent. Plus pickup, fails the pickup. Spends the reroll, but fails the pickup again. Down to 1 reroll. The ball's got to bounce all the way up to the 4-yard line. Turn 12 for Nerdrum's Nosecount. Boy, I am tired today. It was one of those days where I got up. I had to fix my network again because of the stupid windstorm. So I missed a meeting in the morning. But that was only like a few minutes. And then it was just like, it was one of those days where you're just like, you start working and all of a sudden the day's over. You know, like just in the zone, getting stuff done. Big 5+ dodger by Nosecount didn't work out. Had to try something. Turn 12 now, back to Odin. It's Nuffle. Final turn of the third quarter. Two-die block on number 7 gets a foul. More blocks for Odin. It's Nuffle to take. Two-die on number 11's a push. Once again, trying to knock down number 11 gets another push out of this. We'll try it once more. 3-die block this time. Finally gets the knockdown. Looking for the 8+. Don't push on the ball. Don't push on the... You know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It gets a stun out of it. Good armor break. Electric Man asked, did you get the snow or just the wind? I think it was just the wind. Various towns in northwest England. Dude, I block on number 10 here. Gets a push out of this. Could have also been a both standing result. But of course, we're going to push this player away. Going for the pickup again. This time it works out. Francia in possession of the ball once more. There she goes. We'll see if Nosecount are gonna chuck some dice, try to get at this ball carrier. Turn 13 now. Not so trusty patch. It says Ian Sinat. Always push onto the ball. Chucking dice. Personally, I think it'd be ill-advised simply because this team's so fragile, right? It's really just tempting fate. Not sure what to do here as the Nosecount. A nice smattering of gore across the pitch this game. Often it'll be localized to one area of the pitch, but a nice smattering. Good dodge to a blitz on Francia. Gets the pal. Really wants an 8+ out of this. Got the armor break. Gets a great stun. Great blitz by the Nosecount. I'm sorry. Well, he tried to rush. And as we all know, look it up in the rulebook. Games Workshop decrees that the rush fails 900% of the time. Failed the rush. Of all things to fail, it's always the rush. 13 for Odin and Snuffle. Theobald about to come down. come down and help fight for this ball. One die block first against collateral damage. This is Constantinople on the block. One more block on collateral damage will be a pal looking for an 8+. 2 SPP, well done. 5 players left on the pitch for the nose count. Two die block now on Charity Consent. Lots of blocks to take for the blue team here. Any one of these players could be a ball carrier. Everyone has AG 3+. Yeah, they'll get 2 more players around the ball just to help fight for the ball. Your pig always dodges on a 2+. Doesn't matter where he is. All right. Well, he's a 4+. The old Warriors are 4+. Failed to pick up. The ball's going to bounce one space to the 20-yard line. Turn 14 for a nose count now. Not sure anybody can get there except for the number 4 Berserker. Four, 5, 6, rush, boy. 2+ dodge never fails. Takes the blitz on the beer board, but only gets a push out of this. Beer board very, very brittle, just an EV of 6+. War Horseman identifying where he might be able to pick up some SPP here. Knows the beer boar very low AV. If he can get the casualty, that's 2 SPP he can pick up. Especially important this early in the season, right? The name of the game strategically for a lot of these teams is develop your team, right? Get that SPP, level up players, kit them out to where you want them to be. 3+ dodge, 4+ pickup doesn't work out. And the ball bounces one more space toward the end zone to the 22. Turn 14 for Odin. It's Nuffle. Terror, the number 4 Norse Berserker. The hero of the team, the lone defensive-man. Oh no, he's going to get his armor broken, gets stunned. That's a huge stun. He's effectively out for the rest of the game. He'll be out turn 15, turn 16, we'll lose 3 MA. Oh no, he won't. He's got jump up. Two-die block back in no man's lane, gets a pad, or gets a knockdown out of this. Another armor break. These armor breaks don't matter too much. Really looking for some SPP here. Good pickup by Francia. Will certainly not spend any rushing die rolls here. You will roll a 1 or double skulls if it seems to make a play. I think that's Nuffle's first commit. Two-die block, way back at the line of scrimmage, gets a knockdown here. Another armor break, but gets nothing but a stun out of it. $20 seconds left on the clock for Odin. It's Nuffle, the beer boar. Comes down to where the ball is, trying to get into this game. The Ranger says, "I think I play War Horseman next week. Can some of those players please die instead of getting KO'd?" I don't even think he has any permanent injury. Well, he's got the 1. Uphill block. Drive stays alive on the uphill block. Both standing result. Uphill block back at the line of scrimmage, that is. Really isn't a whole lot they can do to get the ball. Understands that fact, and again is looking for some SPP here. I think that's it. I think that's the turn. 3 stunned players, 2 to activate. I think that's it. Yeah, turn 15. Oh boy, turn 15. Sometimes it's like that. Turn 15 for Odin and Nuffle. Blitz, 3-die blitz gets the POW on number 9, looking for 2 SPP, doesn't get it. We definitely saw this out till turn 16. Moob, welcome to the stream. Moob says the Yeti will be back next week too. The Oppo saved it from... Oh! Scores this turn! Two to 0 score. Was this turn 16 already? It couldn't have been. That had to be turn 15. 2 KOs back. Come back for the nose count. Yeah, that was turn 15. All right. Not going to stall this out till turn 16. Could have stalled this out to the end of the game. Decided not to, giving 1 turn to the opposing team. Oops says Yeti will be back next week too. The Oppo saved it from death into just a missing next game in week 1 game. Yeah, that Yeti I think is a key, a core component to the nose counts roster. Unfortunately, didn't start this week. Electric Span says I think Nuffle is biased because the team is named after him. I think that's the intent. Odin and Snuffle is going to keep that Valkyrie way, way back in the backfield. Keep it safe. Although the Beer Boar is still up by the line, hoping to get the pick-me-up to trigger. So just 7 to start on the offense here, with 1 turn to go, unless there's a timeout. Shallow kick into a touchback. Brilliant coaching. Who got it? Odin and Snuffle gets a reroll. All right. Immediately after this game, we'll kick over to the Wooden Men and Iron Trees game. It'll be game 2 of our triple header, and then a little under an hour from now, we'll have our 3rd game. And depending on the state of the 2nd game, we'll kick over to the 3rd game either immediately or we'll watch the 2nd game play out. Hoping for the Kaz, doesn't get it there. Spice says we're getting started. Yeah, sure thing. Yeah, we'll hop over there in just a minute. Thanks for letting me know. I appreciate it. Good luck to both you guys. 2-die blitz on the left side of the line here gets a knockdown. Again, this is all about team building. Breaks armor, but only gets a KO. KOs do not count. You need an actual casualty. You have to knock down on the block, then you need to break armor, then you roll on the injury table, and that injury table needs to result in a casualty where you roll on the casualty table. Ooh. Oh, it is not clear skies. It's very sunny. Oh, that is my mistake. It is very sunny. I think the Ranger says if enough Wood Elves and Skinks die, the next game could go pretty quick. Final turn of the ball game here. Odin and Snuffle's going to win this one 2-0. Nothing to do but gain some SPP. I think only the blitz is left. Gonna blitz down the right guard here, number 6. 2-die blitz. Gets a push. We'll get a frenzy follow-up out of this. 2-die frenzy follow-up into a knockdown. Can you get anything out of it? Cannot, and that will be the game. 2-0, the final. Odin and Snuffle wins this one in this Norse mirror match. Well done to both coaches. That was a lot of fun to watch. Yeah, you can see how tricky it can be to coach a Norse team, right? Again, you're a very bashy team that does not want to give up blocks to the opposing team because you're so brittle. It can be real tricky to pull off, especially with so much frenzy on the roster. But good game to both coaches here. And with that win, Odin and Snuffle is going to stay in first place. They are 2-0-0. Not only are they 2-0-0, they've given up no touchdowns at all yet. So congratulations to Clyfius on the win there. And War Horseman currently there in 6th place, but still very early in the competition, right? So we have 7 more weeks of play, and it's a cut to top 8, not a cut to top 4. So everyone's still very much in this competition. Again, congratulations to Clyfius. Well done by both coaches. We're going to get this next game underway here immediately. So we'll I think it's underway now. Yeah.